as a slight pivot, everybody's favorite Lord Fauci, Anthony the Science Fauci, because everything scientific rests upon him. And of course, if you attack Anthony Fauci, you're attacking science itself. I am the science. That's what he says. But not yet. But anyway, he says some interesting things regarding the pandemic, and we're going to cover it. Dr. Anthony Fauci says that America is finally out of the pandemic phase. Let's listen. Coming from Blaze. During the Tuesday interview with PBS NewsHour's Fauci, who currently serves as President Joe Biden's chief medical advisor, said that the U.S. is in a good position with COVID when compared to the rest of the world. We are certainly right now in a country with a country out of the pandemic phase. Fauci told anchor Judy Woodruff, adding that while COVID-19 will never be eradicated, it can be handled. The community spread of the virus can be quashed as low as possible with vaccinations that don't prevent transmission. And other possible mitigation measures. He told the Post for a Wednesday morning interview that while the pandemic rages on in other parts of the world, the U.S. is entering he refers to as the control phase. He says, the world is still in a pandemic. There's no doubt about that. Don't get any misinterpretation of that. We are still experiencing a pandemic. There's a full-blown pandemic dynamic the way we were months ago, where we have 900,000 cases a day, tens of thousands of hospitalizations, 3,000 deaths, blah, 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 blah. He added, right now we're at a low enough level that I believe we're transitioning into basically an endemic, which is fucking fraud. He says we're not in the full-blown explosive pandemic phase. That does not mean that the pandemic is over, which is not in the pandemic phase, but it's not over. Okay. A pandemic means widespread infection throughout the world. In our country, we're transitioning to more controlled endemicity. All right. This guy's a hack, but I've said this many, many times before. I'm not saying anything new. Let's discuss it just real quick. You know why he's saying this, right? It's more so because he wants to present himself as if it's because of my direction that we're in this position, which is why he keeps, of course, shilling these jabs and all of that. But it doesn't require him to ever have been wrong. This, for pockets of America, like where I'm at, this shit was over, a while back, right? The ones that, I don't know, like the Floridas of the world, the Texas of the world, that just, I don't know, went to continue to do what they were doing. It's been over for us. Now, for y'all who wanted to keep up the charade, you pretended as if it was something that it wasn't. But taking this position does not require them to have to admit fault. It's more like, oh, we're in this phase, everybody's coming to normalcy, and now it's okay for them to be as such. They still should listen to me, because remember, it's me that you're out of this position in the first place. Which I would argue that among the criminal class, certainly the ones that has participated in committing a lot of atrocities, which went noticed, not unnoticed, under his leadership, under his words, and Anthony Fauci, he's one of the most criminal ones. I just think that he's at the end of his life, and he looks at it like, well, I'm getting as much admiration, praise, viewership than I have ever gotten. I cannot allow this to end on anybody's terms other than mine. And I think he's getting off on it. Yeah, we know that he would get interviewed during the AIDS crisis, but he has been made a celebrity because of this COVID shit, right? And being 80 fucking years old and seeing more admiration and praise than you've ever seen, I think he just loves what's happening here. And he can't let go of it. He's a narcissist in that regard. So he'll never admit fault. And as I've said also before, that's the thing that sucks, is that despite him being disastrously wrong in multiple avenues, despite all of that, he still gets to get away with it and go virtually unpunished. If there is to be a side of this that sucks the most, Yeah, I mean, aside from the other economic issues that we'll probably be feeling for the next decade and some change because of this just disastrous COVID policies and thinking that the economy is like a light switch. Aside from that, the folks that participated in perpetuating this bullshit are about to get away with their fucking crimes. And that's the part that sucks. Anthony Fauci being the head honcho. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.